Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of Becoming a Natural Bodybuilder. We are on week 10 and things haven't really progressed much outside of the regular routine, but I thought I'd just do it. Obviously, I'm just doing general updates on a weekly basis anyway. So I guess we'll start with the fact that I am 1 week removed from, well, I guess, is it 1 week? I don't know. I'm no longer, binge eating for my birthday week. And I basically did have, like, every other day I was basically eating a ridiculous amount of calories, and I was like mentally battling with myself of take it easy, grind, take it easy, grind, take it easy, grind. So I ended up basically having my last sort of higher calorie day or slash cheat day or enjoyment day on Saturday. And what I did was on Sunday I didn't eat anything. I just drank coffee and Coke Zero and basically had no food in me, just to sort of like mentally, physically, emotionally, everything reset and then get myself in the right mind state to continue um this this road to becoming a natural pro bodybuilder. I definitely wouldn't recommend any of what I did. And I think one thing about coaching is, like, if I have a coach, they'll tell me not to do that, and I would obviously listen. Coaching myself means that I have that leeway. However, it's not like I wouldn't do what I did as advice. It's not the ideal path, but it's what my reality is. And luckily I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm not fearful for this ruining my efforts, but it's not exactly the best case scenario for what I'm trying to achieve. That said, I can't beat myself up about it, and all I can do is move forward. If my birthday wasn't in during prep, I could enjoy it a bit more, or I could enjoy it outside of prep and not have this happen. But I think this is the only situation where I can actually, well, that would that would validate what I did. All right, so we're gonna go into progress pictures at first, and we're gonna address the elephant in the room that, of course, I missed last week. I definitely wouldn't have looked up to scratch. And this week, you can see how much, like, my stomach is just full of food, and it's really interesting to see it because here there's, like, I'm on a strict diet. I'm sticking to all the calories, no issues. And I actually measured my waist when I was I think on the Friday or Saturday morning. I measured my waist and it was smaller than the way how my waist was when I was on stage, and that was like, this is still a couple weeks out. No, not even a couple weeks out, but like in comparison, that would have been like 4 weeks ahead of schedule or something like that, with my waist being even smaller. So I've undone all of that, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the like it's temporary. It's just as soon as my stomach gets empty of all the food, that there's this saying that there's about, I think, 5 pounds or maybe 2.5 kg of waste in your stomach at any given time. I'm pretty sure around here it might be like 0.5 kg. Like, my body's very efficient in the sense that, like, I eat the next day, it goes. I eat the next day, it goes. Whereas with this now, I've just been putting, like, as I'm as I'm like releasing, I'm loading more on top. Basically, that's what was happening to get my stomach to this point. But I have no fear that in about 2 weeks it'll shrink back down to normal. And I guess I'll compare it. This is week 8, so I compare week 8 to week 11 or 12. Actually, I guess 12 will probably be the better one, because that's like, I can definitely be certain. I mean, the pictures will show that I have undone, or when I've undone all the the chaos I released. And the thing is, like, obviously I weigh less here, but I look so much better here in terms of like size and everything. And it just shows you how, like, smaller can actually look bigger. That being said, though, my legs definitely look a lot bigger. And another thing that's changed is that now that this picture was taken in daytime, the sun comes up a lot earlier now, so I can actually take pictures with, like, sunlight actually hitting me as opposed to the lighting. So here there's a shadow, here there's no shadow because the sunlight is direct into the room, and it kind of shows a more clearer image of how I look. That means, so yeah, like, legs actually look pretty good considering they're sort of inflamed. And another thing is, like, the water weight. So the amount of, like, sodium and everything that I've been eating and consuming, like, kind of just fills up my cells. So I just look a lot more fluffy. Fluffy is definitely the word for this current picture. But yeah, legs still look good, which is like, honestly, like, the most important thing, because my body isn't gonna let me down on stage. My legs will. if they're not in condition and if they're not big enough. If they don't match how big my body looks, it's going to be a point removed from my actual shape. All right, look onto the back. And another thing that happened, I don't know why or how, but it feels like I've forgotten how to pose, like, or how to flex. Like here, I've got my traps out, and here it's like I kind of just forgot. But I thought, let me just take the picture and move on to the following week. One thing that's cool though, hamstrings look pretty big here. Like they look very like just very dense, which is a good look for stage. I'm still trying to figure out the best pose to reveal my hamstrings. Some people do like side to side legs like this. Some people put like this one leg out at a time, or the other leg, or even one leg in front, one leg behind. I think I want to do this because it feels more balanced, but I might also do the leg out just to try to show off more of my like basically this side of my leg as well as I'm presenting this part. Sidewise, again, you can see how much food is in my stomach or in my body from just like my waist just looks massive. And even again, like it feels like I've forgotten how to tense. And you wouldn't believe it's only been 2 weeks between these two pictures, but a lot of damage can be done with how much you eat over a week period. Okay, that's about it in terms of progress. So honestly, I didn't really want to take the pictures, but I just wanted to do it for a sense of accountability and let myself know what would happen in the cases where I don't stick to the plan. So that's that. In terms of cardio, I still actually carried on cardio. I think I mentioned this last week. I carried on cardio as usual, apart from Sunday where I took the whole day off. I just did client work and basically getting ready for the week. Plan shows are still the same. I think I actually might have a chance to do more shows at the end of the year because my circumstances are changing now. But that's like, I'm not really considered focused on that because the first show on the 31st of May is the most important one right now. Training is all the same. Everything feels good. Shockingly, I actually didn't gain any more strength from the amount of carbs or food I ate over that week. So I thought that would be one of the benefits. I'd be able to push more with the carbs in my system, but that didn't happen. It was relatively the same, and I actually felt super sluggish doing cardio to the point where I was like, it's not even worth it. Actually, on that Saturday, I did about 10 minutes of cardio, and it was just too much to bear. There was too much food in my stomach. There was too much just too much everything going on. I kind of scrapped it. I didn't even do my workout in the evening. I just did my back session in the morning and left it. Um, so the reason why I put nutrition in comments is somebody asked about what supplements I take, and it's really just generic stuff. I'll actually show. So for all my clients, this isn't even my account, but for all my clients, I recommend these supplements here. And the bottom one here, you probably can't see it, is glucosamine, not glucosamine, vitamin D. These are what I recommend everyone takes. It's pretty straightforward. Actually, no, this is magnesium because you take it before bed. And then I also recommend vitamin D. You can get it from like anywhere. Just search up on Amazon or whatever. I take mine from Holland & Barrett's, but it's all the same. Those are supplements I take. Creatine as well. But they're like anything that you see that's recommended online. Like I think top 5 recommended things would be like protein, creatine, multivitamin, fish oils, and then like the 5th one's up to you, but you can choose vitamin D if you don't get enough sunlight. In the UK, we don't, so obviously that's what would be recommended. That's about it. So nothing's really changed. More that I just need to get back on track with everything. Actually, if we look at my weight, so what I felt really bad about not tracking, and I realized that I did actually expect my weight to get up to 100, which I didn't. I forgot. So I feel like I've given myself enough leeway to actually not, because I don't know how much I weigh. I could be more than 100, but I thought that I didn't want to get that high. But seeing this again reminds me that actually I planned for it, and I would still be on track to be 90 kg by the show. So what I'll do from tomorrow is kind of just, honestly, I didn't want to track my weight for the rest of the month just to sort of like put it in the past and then start new in the next month. But because I've seen that I've planned for it, I might just go back to tracking my weight tomorrow, and then just helping myself keep on a track or accountable in that sense, and start the journey right again. But I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard when, like, obviously I not let myself down, but like I put myself back by my own doing. But I'm also in the mind of, it doesn't really matter as long as I just keep going with the process. So it's like it's hard to coach yourself through it, but it's also a good skill to have, to be able to be objective and ignore how the emotions are playing in my mind. Anyway, that's it from me. If you have any questions about coaching or your own training, just put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. That's it. Bye.